What is up, my beautiful mangoes? My name is the Iron Mango, and today I am bringing you guys another brand new Five Nights at Freddy's 4 Ending Explained video on my channel. So essentially in today's video, I'm going to be going over some speculation and some theories that I do have about the secret unknown Nightmare Animatronic, which only appears on Night 7 and Night 8 of Five Nights at Freddy's 4. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly who I think this Nightmare Animatronic actually is. But before I get into that, I want to tell you guys that I believe that every single animatronic in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 game is just a figment of your imagination, or the child that you're playing as is a figment of his imagination. Maybe he's in a coma in the hospital, maybe he's on hospice, or something cool like that, or something bad like that. It's not cool to be in a coma or to be in hospice or other bad stuff like that. But I believe that every single animatronic that is in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 game is just in your nightmares. Every single night is one of your nightmares. You're not going to be awake at 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning if you're like a 10-year-old kid or something like that. You are just having nightmares, guys. Every single animatronic in this game is just one of your nightmares, and I believe that all the animatronics that are actually in the game do not exist in real life. I believe that this kid is actually just having nightmares about the things that he does see in everyday life. I think that just seeing the bullies with the masks of the different animatronics, or the different like actual animatronics like Foxy, Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, I think that's why he actually sees these nightmare versions in his dream, because those guys like bullied him, so he sees them as being something negative, you know. And then I also think that like the plush trap, he sees a plush trap doll, or one of the kids that he walks by actually does have a plush trap doll, so I think that he actually sees that doll as being something that could potentially hurt him. Maybe he also sees the cupcake as being something that could potentially hurt him from his birthday or something cool like that. I'm not sure exactly, guys, but I think that everything that he actually does see in real life could actually appear in one of his dreams. Like there's the plush trap, as I was saying earlier, there's the other animatronics because of the bullies, there is even Fredbear, because Fredbear is the one that actually bit his head off at the end of Night 5. Spoiler warning, guys, or I don't think I really need to do spoiler warning anymore. It's kind of like pretty much everybody knows that already. If you guys don't know that already, then be sure to check out all my ending videos about that. I'm not sure if it's the bite of 83, maybe it's the bite of 87. We're not sure about that, but that doesn't matter for today's video, guys. I want to uncover who this secret Nightmare Animatronic actually is. So some of the game files have actually been revealed, and we can see that this Nightmare Animatronic actually seems to have a transparent like skin around, or like a plastic covering, I guess you could say, around his endoskeleton. It looks like there's an endoskeleton, then he also does have a brain. We're not sure if this Nightmare Animatronic can actually think. I don't know, guys. Can it actually think, guys? It has a brain. Do all the animatronics have brains? I don't think the other animatronics do have brains. Potentially this could be the child's brain, but I'm going to go into a little bit further detail about that. I believe that this Nightmare Animatronic actually represents death for the child. You don't actually see the Nightmare Animatronic until after Night 6, and we do know that you die at the end of Night 6 because of the flatlining of the heartbeat monitor. You can hear it just flatline out, which signifies a death, or which signifies the heartbeat, to like the heart to stop beating, I guess you could say, in general. But I believe that this Nightmare Animatronic is actually representing death for the child. It looks very, very similar to Fredbear, because Fredbear is actually the one that did kill him. Fredbear is the one that did bite his head and eventually led to his death. So I think that this Nightmare Animatronic is just like a darker version of Fredbear. But there are a couple of mini games, guys, or there's a couple of scenes in some of the mini games before you actually get into the room with Fredbear, and it looks to be Spring Bonnie, even though the Spring Bonnie does change. But that's for another video, guys. That's for another video, even though there are some other versions of Spring Bonnie that we do see in the Five Nights at Freddy's game, or the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 game. That's for another video, though, guys. But in the same room, or in the room before that room, we can actually see the shadows of Freddy, or Fredbear, and the Spring Bonnie suit, or the Spring Trap suit as well. We can see the shadows on a wall, so I'm not sure if there's like a reflection of some sort, or maybe it's actually the child's imagination imagining this Nightmare Animatronic, if it actually is a Shadow Fredbear, as it does look very, very similar to Fredbear. So maybe that's where this kid actually got the imagination, or the nightmare like vision of this Nightmare Animatronic, so that it actually does appear in his nightmares, because we're thinking that everything that actually appears in his nightmares he had to see in real life at some point in time. He had to see one of these animatronics, or something that looked like one of these animatronics that actually does scare him in his nightmares at some point in real life. So maybe when he saw this shadow on the wall, he envisioned this Nightmare Animatronic. That's why it's kind of like see-through, why there's like only like a transparent covering over it. I don't know, guys, but Scott Cawthon is definitely taking a dark turn in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. This is the first game that is actually rated M. It is rated 17 plus, guys. Yes, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is 17 plus. It's the first game that's actually rated M in the franchise. He knows that this game is going to be very scary. There's going to be many dark turns with some dark subject matters and other stuff like that, because black is usually very much associated with death and loss and other stuff like that. Like funerals are always black. other stuff like that. But I also have another cool little Easter egg that I do have to talk about. If you remember in the Night 4 minigame, when you're trapped inside of the room with the other animatronics, so there's like the Bonnie head, and there's the Golden Freddy head, there's like a Bonnie hand, there's like a Springlock suit without a head on it, there's a endoskeleton with a cool face, other cool stuff like that. You can actually see in the top left corner a black mask, which could be why that this character, or the character they were playing as, actually does see this Nightmare animatronic in his dreams or in his nightmare, like, because he's having nightmares, you know, and this thing would be the thing that, or this head would be the animatronic, or the object that he actually sees, and that's why he actually has nightmares about it. If he even sees this animatronic for a second, you actually do die in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 game. If you see this animatronic, there's not really like a real jump scare. You just like, you see his face in a still shot, and you actually do get the game over screen. Well, actually resets your game, to be honest. But I think that this Nightmare animatronic definitely represents death for this child. Maybe the reason that he's seeing it is because when he was trapped in that room, he did see a black mask, because I think that every single nightmare or every single animatronic that is in this game, they can actually jump scare you, get you a game over screen, other cool stuff like that. I believe that every single animatronic has to be an object or a animatronic that he actually did see in real life. That's why he's having nightmares about it. So I think that this black mask that you actually see in the Night 4 minigame is the reason why this character does see Nightmare. I believe that the Nightmare animatronic actually means that the character has died and he is moving on. Maybe he's becoming the puppet. I don't know, guys. Maybe he's becoming Golden Freddy in general. Maybe the puppet is turning this character into Golden Freddy and forgiving him and other cool stuff like that. I don't know, guys. It's just my theory. It is just my speculation. Let me know what you guys think about my theory down below in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think about this Nightmare animatronic. Who you think this Nightmare animatronic might be. If there's any other cool hints or Easter eggs or clues or cool stuff like that, let me know down below in the comments section as well. I'll be reading and replying to every single comment on today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Be sure to slap that like and a like button and that little red button that says subscribe if you guys did enjoy today's video. And hope you guys have a nice, safe, wonderful day.